Crandall Chargers and your Mount ceremonies. Please rise, remove your hats, and face the national flag for the playing of the national anthem. Starting five for the Crandall Chargers today. Number 4, Ethan Culberson. Number 6, Mark Hopper. Number 7, Daniel Hawk. Number 13, Kobe McIntyre. And number 15, Luca Del Bosco. And now the starting five for the Mount ceremonies. Number 1, Kwame Asideu. Number 2, Keith Rowan. Number 6, Jonah Monroe. Number 14, Ryan Norris. And number 24, Rashawn Ferguson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the McCormick Gymnasium here on the campus of Mount Allison University for this ACAA regular season home opener for the new look Mount Allison Mounties men's basketball team led by Mitch Weber in his first season as head coach. And the Mounties will be taking on the Crandall Chargers tonight here at the McCormick Gymnasium. Last matchup between these two, the ACAA quarterfinal this past March in Charlottetown, with Mount Allison defeating Crandall by a score of 91-80. The Mounties 0-2, first home game of the year, looking to get their first win of the season. Crandall 1-1 after their defeat at home over St. Thomas yesterday. Tip is won by the Mounties, controlled by the point guard Keith Rowan. Pulls out a set, goes to Ferguson in the high post. Ferguson trying to attack middle. Good defense there. Kicks to the corner. Offside, Asedu. Norris goes inside to Ferguson. And layup no good. Rebounded there by Hoffer. Hit ahead pass. Ball's on the ground, out of bounds. And will go the way of the Mounties. Good hit ahead pass there from Hoffer, looking for McIntosh, but just couldn't retain possession of the basketball. Here comes Rowan for the Mounties. Guarded there by Ethan Culberson. Brush screen from Monroe. Goes to Asedu on the left wing. Handoff with Ferguson. Asedu drives right, gets in the lane. Tough finish. And the first point of the night for the Mounties, courtesy of the first-year point guard, Kwame Asedu. Here is Culberson, guarded by Rowan. Trying to drive right. Gives to the cutting Hawks. Kicks to the corner. 3-ball, good. Luca Del Bosco for 3. And the Chargers snatch the lead right back. Here's Rowan. Looking to post up. Now gives to Ferguson. 18-foot jumper, no good. Rebounded by the Chargers. Back the other way comes Culberson. He punches middle. Comes to a stop. Gives it up here to Hawks. Hawks up top. Now McIntosh. McIntosh posting up on Monroe. Tries to get middle. A fadeaway. Rolls around and out. Rebound controlled by Monroe. Monroe looking to push the pace here for the Mounties. Trying to get all the way to the rim. Spins inside. No good with the right hand. Ball knocked out of bounds by the Chargers. Mounties will retain possession underneath their own basket. 14 on the shot clock here. Rowan to inbound for Mount A. Trying to get Monroe off the stagger action. They find Ferguson on the slip, and he finishes inside. Rashawn Ferguson with his first 2 points of the night. Mounties regain the lead 4-3. Here is Hawks. Guarded there by Asadu. Uses the screen from Del Bosco. Asadu stays with him. Diving on the floor is Rowan. And a travel is called, but you love the hustle there from Keith Rowan.
Great hustle, great effort to try and get to that ball. Just that little bit of a barrel roll is what caused it. Is what the travel was called on.
Mounties showing a lot of fight here early on, diving on the floor for loose balls. They want it more at this juncture. Here we go with Culberson, driving left. Rowan there, tough shot, no good. And a foul, pushing the back called on number 6, Mark Hoffer. He picks up his first foul. And possession will go back to the Mounties. 7:49 to play, first quarter. Mounties 4, Chargers 3 here on ACAA TV. Here is Keith Rowan. Goes to the high post to Ferguson. Kicks to the corner. Open three for Asadu. It's no good. Long rebound there for Culberson. He's looking to push the pace the other way. Here's Del Bosco. Attacks baseline. Asadu there. Trying to post him up. Gets middle. Tough little shot in the lane, and he gets it to fall. Luca Del Bosco has the first 5 points of the night here for the Chargers as Rowan back the other way. Asadu trying to drive baseline, cut off there by Hawks. Now goes to Ferguson up top. Ferguson posting up on Del Bosco. Gets in the lane, tough shot, got it. High off the glass there from Rashawn Ferguson. Yeah, he's got 4 of the Mounties' first 6.
And it's great to see the Mount Allison working Ferguson into that post play. It's one thing they're going to have to control to have any chance in this game.
Strong take there by Del Bosco. He's outscoring the Mounties by himself currently. 7-6 in favor of the Chargers. Norris, a 3-ball on the way. Hit front rim and rebounded there by McIntosh. Here's Hoffer. Drives middle. Working on Norris, a fadeaway off front rim, gets his own rebound, kick out, and the 3-ball there from McIntosh as the Chargers extend their lead to 4. Here comes Asadu back the other way. Gives to Norris. Rowan in the corner now. Rowan looking to use a Ferguson screen. Gives to Ferguson in the high post. Kick out for Monroe. 5 on the shot clock for the Mounties. Monroe drives baseline, stepped on the line, and possession will go back to Crandall. And we have our first substitution of the day. Number 5 for the Mounties, Caden Augustin, checking in here for number 1, Kwame Asadu. Ball back in play here with Culberson. Guarded there by Rowan. Gives to Del Bosco. He's going to try a 3. Off back iron. Gets his own rebound. Drives down the lane and finishes with the left hand. Timeout. Mounties. An early timeout here for head coach Mitch Weber as the Chargers leading 12-6 here. 5:35 to go first quarter.
Yeah, I can imagine the first thing that he's going to be saying in there is block out. For heaven's sakes, block out. Because the last 3 times down the court, Chargers have basically shooters have just walked in.
Right.
That time they got the ball back and put it in. The other 2 Mount A got a little bit lucky on it, but they've got to block out those outside shooters and keep them out there.
Right. Back-to-back possessions, not just offensive rebounds for Crandall, but shooters getting their own rebounds. So making sure that they're blocking out on the shot there. I have my players to watch for Crandall as Mark Hoffer and Ethan Culberson, but it's been Luca Del Bosco that's been running the show so far for the Chargers. He has 7 of Crandall's first 12 points here in the first quarter.
Yeah, Hawks has also been strong defensively as well as moving the ball around the offensive end. He's a quick player. He moves the ball well. If he stays out of foul trouble, he's going to be a pain in the tail feathers for the Mounties the whole night.
Yeah. Crandall, a lot of impact players on both sides. They made some additions this offseason. Came up short in that quarterfinal against Mount Allison last year, but this is a retooled roster, and they're looking pretty good here so far. And ball back in play here with Rowan. Rowan drives baseline, goes to the low post to Ferguson. He's got a one-on-one matchup. Great cut by Norris, but he lost the handle of the ball. Here comes Hoffer back the other way. Gives here to Culberson. McIntosh in the corner, driving baseline on Ferguson. Strong take, and he's rewarded with 2 shots at the line. Great take there on the drive from McIntosh. Ferguson picks up his first foul. And the third year from Florenceville, Bristol, New Brunswick will get 2 chances at the line here. 6'3" forward. Good on the first. Extending the Charger lead to 7. Slight delay for an untied shoelace.
And we're also waiting for that to go up on the main scoreboard, too. There we go.
And 14-6 in favor of the Chargers right now. 2 subs coming in for the Mounties. Number 7, Brennan Devereaux, and number 15, Gabe Powder, as Rayshawn Ferguson and Jonas Monroe make way. And substitution for the Chargers, Dave Hutton, number 12, now in the game, guarding the ball. Here is Keith Rowan. Goes to Powder, top of the key. Gives to Augustin on the handoff. Norris tried to drive baseline, too many steps. Turnover there for Mount Allison. Ball back to the Chargers. Chargers a pretty high-powered offense, second in the ACAA in three-point field goal percentage right now at 46.4. Already seen a couple knocked down by Luca Del Bosco.
And as fearless as Mount Allison can be on those outside shots, Crandall has even less fear for shooting out there. If they miss, they just keep shooting.
Yeah. And they're crashing the O boards, too, as Del Bosco drives. No good on that one. Rebounded by Devereaux. Here comes Devereaux back the other way for the Mounties. Looking to go to Norris and does. Now Augustin thought about the 3. Now puts it on the deck. And a travel. Caught between 2 minds there.
Yeah, and he look on his face down there trying to figure what thought he got fouled, but the thing is he lost control, and he created the contact into the defensive player, and then his foot hit the floor. There's the travel.
Yeah. Number 5, Ryan Campbell into the game here for Crandall. This is Hutton. McIntosh up top. Goes back to Hutton on the handoff. 3 ball on the way. In and out. Rebounded by Norris. Here's Augustin for the Mounties. Looking to go to Rowan and does. Uses the Powder screen. Norris on the left-hand side. Rowan, straightaway 3, off back iron. And an offensive rebound there from Rowan. Great hustle. Just left the layup short. And a battle underneath and a foul on number 2, Keith Rowan. He was all over the place on that possession. And unfortunately is rewarded with a foul.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration shown there just from having missed the shot, missed the layup. Came in going after the ball just a little too aggressive. Not much, just a hair too aggressive.
We love to see the aggression from the second-year point guard, though.
Yep, oh, definitely.
And back the other way, 3 ball on the way. Rattles around and in for Ryan Campbell. A great drag screen there set by Mark Hoffer. Really put the Mounties defense on their toes and led to that open shot. And referee saying that McIntosh just a little too aggressive, trying to deny that high post catch for Norris there. He picks up his first. 14 on the shot clock for the Mounties. Sideline out of bounds. Rowan to inbound. They give to Norris in the corner. And a travel again.
Just picking that foot up before he puts the ball down. It's a really fine line, and he's just a hair off right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that jab step. He's just picking up the back foot on the jab. Something I talk about with our girls with the Mounties women's team all the time, making sure that that back foot stays down and also doesn't drag backwards where you go out of bounds either. Skip pass. Here is Campbell on the drive. Gives to Hawks. 3-ball from the 45 is down. Daniel Hawks for 3, and the Chargers have now opened up a 20-6 lead here. Under 3 minutes to play in the first quarter. Monroe. Hawks guarding him. Augustin, they switch off. Hawks doing a great job sticking with. Now Powder. And what a defensive possession there from Daniel Hawks. Powder in the corner, stepped on the line. You've got to say momentum the way of the blue and gold Chargers at the moment.
Yeah, Ferguson's back in for the Mounties. Hopefully that means they're going to try and work that ball inside again just to settle things down and get points rolling again.
Yeah. Well, and I can say just from not even being down on the floor, being up here, the Mounties have a clear size advantage right now. So playing inside out might not be a bad idea. And here is Lucas. And moving screen called there on number 14, Charles McKenna, who just checked into the game. Possession will go back to Mount Allison. Here is Rowan, guarded by Hutton. Ferguson comes to set a screen. Hutton doing a great job. Uses the Ferguson screen, drives, and a strong take there from Ferguson. Earns himself 2 free throws. Hopefully this can get the Mounties going, get into the line, seeing a couple drop. Charge that foul to number 11, Jaden Lucas of the Chargers. He picks up his first. Team's 4th foul. Chance to talk about Rashawn Ferguson, 3rd year with the Mounties. 6'7" from Nassau, Bahamas. No good on the first. Sean unfortunately missed quite a bit of time last year in the Mounties Nationals run with some injuries, but we're very happy to see him back out on the floor as he hits the second free throw there. Chargers 20, Mounties 7, 2:12 to play and counting. Here's Hutton on the drive. Lost it, and Asadu comes away with it. Asadu pushing the pace and fouled in transition there. That will put the Mounties into bonus as number 5, Ryan Campbell, picks up his first foul. Good defense leading to an early transition opportunity for the Mounties, and 2 free throws here for Kwame Asadu. Good on the first one. And for the Mounties, 2+ minutes here of the Chargers being in bonus, so really trying to be aggressive on those drives. Asadu 2 of 2 from the line. Subs checking back into the game for the Chargers. Number 15, Luca Del Bosco, and number 4, Ethan Culberson. Hutton and McKenna making way. And ball in the hands of Culberson here for the Chargers. Uses the step-up screen there from Campbell. Hawks up top, guarded by Monroe. Gives here to Lucas. And ball stripped away by Monroe. Monroe looking to push the pace in transition. No numbers, gives now to Powder. Powder on the drive. And he is fouled there by, I believe it was number 15, Del Bosco. So he'll pick up his first. 2 free throws here for Gabe Powder. And off back iron on the first. Powder also in his 3rd year from Almonte, Ontario, not far from Ottawa. And some confusion here.
They hit the buzzer for a substitution between free throws, and that's not allowed in Canadian basketball.
We're ready to go. We're ready to go. And Powder good on the second here. Mounties 10, Chargers 20, 140 to play.
Yeah, I've got a couple of quick pregame shout-outs from Peacock on that. It says, let's go Chargers. And also for Mount A side, we've got Ethan Samerda. Let's go Mounties. The ever-present Jamie Rowan with Mounties fan Keith's mom.
And Monroe in transition here. And a block called on Hawks. He picks up his first, and it'll be 2 free throws coming here for Jonas Monroe. Special thank you to all of our viewers on the Mountie side, on the Chargers side. Thank you for tuning in on ACAA TV or YouTube, wherever you're watching us. Thank you for the support, and we hope you're enjoying this one.
And we also got a shout out from former manager for the Mounties, Noah Lenahan. Let's go Mounties, cheering from his hometown of Woodstock, which
Nice.
confusingly enough is also where Daniel Hawks is from.
We've got quite a bit of Woodstock representation. Mounties head coach Mitch Weber, also from Woodstock. Nice to see you on the broadcast, Noah. Go River Lions. And here is Culberson. Back the other way for the Chargers. Gives to Del Bosco. Back to Culberson. Rowan stays attached. And the broken play. Del Bosco's got it in the corner now. Ferguson all over him. 6 on the shot clock. Skip pass. 3 ball on the way from McIntosh is no good. Rebounded by Rowan. Here is a Seydu back the other way. Gets in the lane. Tries to get it weak side to Monroe. Ball was deflected out of bounds. Still 17 on the shot clock here for the Mounties. Under a minute to play in the first quarter. 54.8. Trying to go to Monroe. They instead go to Ferguson on the pop, and now Monroe's got it up top. Here's Rowan on the drive. Gives to Asadu. Asadu, 8 on the shot clock. Now Monroe at the top. Looking to use the Ferguson screen, and does. They trap it. He's got to get it up. Just gets it off in time, off the backboard, and a shot clock violation there as the ball never touched the rim.
Yeah, that was an interesting call because the ball came down straight into the Chargers' hands, and it was the official with his head was behind the play on that one that made the call and maybe shouldn't have.
Right.
Because that one should have just kept right on running with the reset and run at that point.
Yeah. Chance, a break for the Mounties, really, to set up their defense. As Asadu gets on that one. Monroe, one man to beat, and he's stripped from behind. What a play there from Ryan Campbell to get back in the play. I thought it was one-on-one, but Campbell got right back in it. Here's Culberson. Shot clock turned off. 8 seconds. Del Bosco at the top, guarded by Monroe, and a foul given. Chaos on the floor right now between both sides. Monroe picks up his first foul. Smart foul to take there. As
Rowan's on the floor still.
Rowan on the floor. And we hope Keith is okay. Stoppage in action here.
Took a little longer to get the trainer moving out there than I thought it maybe should have, but it happens.
Yeah.
We've also
that's a coaching one, because if you send the trainer out, then you got to sub him out.
They're on the floor that long. They should be coming off anyways.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm trying to.
No, I know.
To justify.
I understand the justification. Just from an previous official, coached a little bit way back when.
Get it moving.
Yeah, let's keep this game. Let's keep the flow going.
Yep.
We got a shout out from Tim Elson, former Mountie, playing in the AUS for UNB now. Let's go Mounties, come back, loading.
There we go.
And they're working their way back into this one. Oh my.
3 ball, no good. Del Bosco throws it up. Shot is no good. And so we have reached the end of the first quarter here at the McCormick Gymnasium. The Chargers currently with a 10-point advantage, 20-10 over the Mounties. But a strong final 3 minutes, it must be said, from Mount Allison. Offensively struggling a little bit. A team that's currently last in the ACAA in points per game at 65. Really need to hunker down here in the second quarter and get some stops. But a promising end to that first quarter for Mount A.
Promising end. I mean, it's building off of 3 out of 4 good quarters yesterday down at UNBSJ. They won one of those. I think they won one of those, and the other 2 were one was tied. Second one was tied in the fourth quarter. I can't remember if they won or lost it by 2 points, but it was that third quarter for them last night or yesterday afternoon that was a problem. They just came out and I think they left their brains in the dressing room at halftime, because they lost that. I think the 26-9 was the score for St. John for the Seawolves in that third quarter, right. And that was the difference in the game right there. It looks like Mounties it's good to see them stepping up. Like, they were getting down a bit, but they're stepping back up in. Those shots will start dropping soon. It's just they're going to, because they're getting quality shots. It's just they're missing by a little bit here and there.
Yep.
And it's going to come together.
Yep. No, absolutely. And I think, for the Mounties right now, defensively, that's something they pride themselves on a lot, and I know they won't be happy with a 20-point quarter to start against this team. A team that prides themselves on defense, if they can hold teams to a 15 or less in a quarter, that's really a good benchmark, and I know that's something that Coach Weber will look to get back to here in the second quarter. Teams look ready to go here for the second quarter. I'll get back to that shout out from Tim Ellison. Thank you for your support, Tim. Hope things are going well down in Fredericton. Former member of the Mounties for 3 seasons, I believe. And now in his first year with the UNB Reds.
Yeah, quick shout out from Jerry Mumford, whose daughter Jill plays for the girls. This is Tyler and Ian. Go Mounties! Great day of coverage for Mount A Sports. Thanks to all you two do.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Appreciate the support.
He understands the hours we put in, because we had a volleyball match before this basketball.
Yes, we did.
Doubleheader.
We've been here. Yep. We've been here since 11 a.m. It's currently 7:30, and we got 3 more quarters to go. Possession going the way of the Mounties. We got some passionate Mounties football faithful behind the Crandall bench, letting them know whose possession it is. Here's a Seydoux up top. Gives to Ferguson in the high post. Now to Monroe. Jumper off front rim. Batted around. Norris controls the offensive rebound and lays it in. First 2 points of the quarter belong to the Mounties, as Augustin tried to get the steal there. Now he's got to get back in the play. Knocked it away. Ball's on the floor. It'll be a jump. Possession will go the way of the Mounties. Like I said, building off that final 3 minutes of the first quarter, a different look here from the Mounties in the first 42 seconds of this quarter.
Yeah, not as tentative on the offensive end, and they've just tightened up the defense.
Here's Ferguson at the top. Gives to Monroe on the handoff. Monroe trying to get downhill. Foul's going to be on the ground.
Yeah, the more visible part was that bit right at the end where everybody saw when Monroe went up with the ball and got hit on the arm, but he got bumped solidly on the step before he brought the ball up.
Yeah. And the foul goes to Del Bosco there as Norris tries a 3, missed everything, and possession will go back the way of the Chargers. I believe that's Del Bosco's second, which is noteworthy as he had quite the performance in the first quarter. And a kick ball. Possession going back to Mount A. I don't know if Crandall's been able to get it over half here in the first minute of this quarter.
Not much.
The Mounties defense has been all over them. And now the team in white has to capitalize on this end. Sideline out of bounds here, 14 on the clock.
Yeah, there was no intent on that football call, but it was lower leg contact, and they gained an advantage off it, so it has to be called.
Here's a Seydoux driving right, gets in the lane, shot no good. Rebound batted around, controlled by Del Bosco. Here is Hutton for the Chargers. Gives to Hoffer, guarded by Monroe. Low post here is McIntosh, guarded by Norris. Spins out, kicks to Hutton. Hawks up top. 5 on the shot clock. Puts it up and fouled on the way up. by number 1, Kwame Asedu. And so that will send number 7, Daniel Hawks, to the free throw line, another Woodstock native.
His older sister actually played for the Mounties for 4 years.
There we go. Hawks good on the first. Chargers 21, Mounties 12. 8:26 to go here in the second quarter. And good on the second, make that 22-12. And here comes Asedu back the other way for the Mounties. Guarded by Hoffer. Uses the Monroe brush screen. He flares off. They go to the corner to Norris. Tries to drive middle, stripped, and taken away by Hawks. Ball still on the floor, now in the hands of Hutton. Hutton spins out of the double team there. Gives to Hoffer, guarded by Asedu. Now Hawks at the top. Del Bosco. Traveled. Same as Norris on the far side in the first quarter there. Just picked up his back foot on the jab step there. Possession will go back to Mount Allison. Here's Rowan calling out a play. Uses the Monroe brush screen. Now gives to Ferguson at the free throw line. Drives left. Monroe cuts back door and lays it in with the right hand. Great off-ball movement there by Monroe. And a good find there from Ferguson. Deficit back down to 8. Here's Hawks on the drive. Gets by Norris. Denied. Ryan Norris with the block on Hawks, and he lets him know about it afterwards as well. Possession stays with Crandall. 14 on the shot clock. Hawks to inbound. Stagger action here from the Chargers. They try to go up top. It's tipped by Norris. Controlled by Tower. On the drive, Del Bosco for 3. Got it. Big shot there from Luca Del Bosco. And now Monroe has it for the Mounties. Gives to Ferguson up top. They go back to Monroe. A 3 ball on the way. No good. Rebounded by Del Bosco. Here is Hutton. This is Tower. Goes to Del Bosco. They try to get the face cut. They don't get it, but now go to Hutton. The Euro step in the lane and finishes. Dave Hutton for 2. And the Chargers lead back up to 13. Here's Augustin in the corner. Goes to Norris. Thought about the 3. Now we'll go to Ferguson. Ferguson's going to try an 18-footer and knock it down. Rayshawn Ferguson with a deep 2. And here is Hutton being guarded 94 feet by Rowan. Del Bosco up top. Now Hawks uses the Del Bosco screen and a foul there on Monroe. Just a little too aggressive in trying to fight over that screen there. Trouble is, that is the second on the Mounties senior. And so it'll bring number 15, Gabe Powder, back into the game. 6:05 to play here in the second quarter. And here's McIntosh. Good D there from Powder. Del Bosco guarded by Ferguson. Drives right. Gets himself in the paint. Tough shot. No good. Rebound up for grabs. Controlled by Augustin. Augustin looking to get the Mounties into their offense here. Breaks down on Tower. Kicks it out. Open corner 3. Powder off the back rim. Gets his own rebound. Drives baseline. Dump off pass to Ferguson. Missed it with the right hand. And controlled by Del Bosco. Fight for it underneath. Jump ball. Possession will go the way of the Chargers. Good fight there shown by Gabe Powder on the rebound from Del Bosco. Mounties get a chance to set up their defense here. Norris and Rowan in the backcourt, applying pressure. And Hutton nearly lost it there. And Augustin, good job to get his hand in there. Not enough urgency from the Chargers right now getting the ball over half. Pretty good job by the Mounties applying pressure at the point of attack. Hutton will be the inbound man here. 16 on the shot clock for Crandall. And Norris checking out of the game, giving way to Brennan Devereaux. And here's Hutton, guarded by Devereaux. Del Bosco hands it off to Culberson. McIntosh drives left, now spins back right, gets all the way to the rim and finishes. Nice move there from Colby McIntosh. Started his drive left, spun back right, got past the Mounties defender for two. Here is Rowan. They go high post here to Ferguson. Drives left and he traveled. Picked up that back foot. I think that's travel number 4 of the first half here for the Mounties, really shooting themselves on the foot with those. And it'll bring Jonas Monroe back into the game here. 4:52 to play in the half. He's already got 2. A lot of trust being shown here from Coach Weber with his star player. He recognizes that the Mounties need a spark right now, down by 13.
A spark, a little bit more leadership on the floor. And Monroe can provide that.
Yeah, when you look at the Mounties lineup right now, outside of Rayshawn Ferguson, everyone else on the floor is either in their first or second year. So that senior leadership that Monroe provides is key for Mount A. Here is Hutton, traveled. Been a lot of travels in this one. Higher than the standard.
We're probably at the game standard or a little higher already, and there's still 4.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
Point of emphasis tonight from the refs as Rowan knocks down the 3 from the top of the key. Keith Rowan for 3. Augustin doing a pretty good job defensively there. Still with him, and now he gives up the foul. It'll be the Mounties' 3rd of the quarter. Augustin picking up his first. Here is Hutton. Tries to drive on Monroe. He's cut off. Now McIntosh on the drive. Comes to a stop. Traveled again.
Most of him stopped, but his feet didn't. He just kept shuffling them.
If you had the over on travels in this one, congratulations.
Considering I know part of the officials basically mandated to try and keep the flow of the game going, but tonight the players are just not letting them do that.
There hasn't been an argument against any of them either.
Ooh.
Might have gotten away with one there.
Yeah.
Devereaux for 3, no good. And a push in the back. Called on Rayshawn Ferguson there, I believe. Waiting to see the signal from the referee. Yep. That'll be the 2nd on Ferguson. So now for the Mounties, your 2 vets, Monroe and Ferguson, both in foul trouble. Still 4 minutes to play in this half, but down 10. You got to let them play. Here is Hutton. Guarded by Monroe. And you got to appreciate Monroe picking up full court with those 2 fouls. They try to go inside to Hoffer, and Augustin's going to pick up his 2nd there. And just like that, we are now in a bonus situation for the Chargers. 3:41 to play in the first half. Powder is going to check in here for Ferguson. Hoffer at the line shooting 2. Hoffer in his 5th year from Hillsborough, New Brunswick. Good on the first there. An ACAA all-conference player last year for the Chargers. And Hoffer good on both. Chargers 31, Mounties 19. Rowan trying to beat everybody up the floor. Now comes to a stop. Hutton all over him there. And the foul given. Hutton picks up his first. Just the second team foul for the Chargers in the quarter. Kind of the reverse scenario that we had in the first, with the Mounties having a couple of minutes of bonus time. Chargers here with 3.5 minutes in the bonus. Here is Monroe in the low post. Working on Culberson. Goes up and finishes with the right hand. Nice spin move there in the post from Monroe. Here's Hoffer up top. Hutton gives to Hawks. This is McKenna. Gives to Culberson on the drive. Gets downhill and finishes. Strong left-hand drive there from Culberson. Mounties wasting no time coming back the other way. Augustin off balance, couldn't finish. And ball's thrown out of bounds by the Chargers. Possession going back to Mount A.
Yeah, they're trying to pick things up on that and pick up the pace of the play, but they're just Mounties just need to stay that hair a bit more under control. As soon as they push that just a few percent too hard, that's when they start lose control of their body and their motion. So it doesn't become a reasonable shot.
Here is Norris.
So close.
And stolen away. He was looking at the ref and not at the ball, and now he's given up a foul. So Norris will pick up his first foul there. It'll send Hutton to the line for 2.
After he gets his shoe back on. That was a fairly aggressive foul. I'm kind of surprised that they might be discussing that at the moment. It might be considered an intentional, just because of that full arm swing
through, yeah.
Which would be 2 in possession.
Correct. Right, and just a frustration foul there for Norris after the turnover.
Yeah, that's gonna go with referee. Intentional foul, yeah. Just that arm swing, and it's just there was no real intent. It's just, as I said, that was Norris's frustration coming through when it shouldn't have, but it did.
And so now Hutton will get 2 free throws here, and Crandall will retain possession. Brennan Devereaux checking in here for Ryan Norris after that unsporting foul. Hutton good on the first. Referee telling everyone to get out because they're getting the ball back whether he makes or misses.
At center. Short delay while the uniform gets put back together and shirt tucked in.
And Hutton goes 1 for 2. Chargers will have the ball side out. 14 on the shot clock.
It used to be at center. Apparently now it's at about that used to be considered an old timeline mark.
Yeah.
Up near the top of the 3-point line.
And here's Hutton on the drive, gets left.
Oh.
Comes to a stop.
There we
travel.
go. Thank you. He might have got away with a little bit on the slide right at the beginning when he came to the stop on that one, but then held it together, and then he just picked the foot up, put it back down again, and was called on it.
Chargers 34, Mounties 21. 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Monroe gives to Devereaux. Flares off of Powder. They give here to Jonas Monroe. Driving, kicks it out. And travel on Rowan. I genuinely have not seen this in a long time.
I am baffled.
I have not seen this in a long time. We hear about it with the NBA all the time that they never call travels. We'll come to the ACAA, they call every travel.
Pretty much.
Here is Hutton using the screen there from McKenna. Hutton, pull-up jumper, no good. Rebounded by Rowan. As we come under 2 minutes to play here shortly. Monroe on the drive, bumped. He will go to the free throw line. Charge that foul to number 7, Daniel Hawk. He picks up his second. He's going to check out here with Ryan Campbell replacing him. And Monroe gets his second trip to the free throw line tonight. Jonas in his 4th year out of nearby Moncton. Really came into his own last year as the Mounties went on their run to the national semifinal, hosted right here at Mount Allison. And Monroe, good on both. Violation was on gold. 2:01 to play, 11-point game. Here is Culberson bringing it up for the Chargers. Guarded by Rowan. Gives now to Hutton, using the screen from McKenna. They go inside to Hoffer. Gets middle, stripped. Ball, I think, was last touched by Monroe. It was. And so possession will stay with Crandall. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Kwame Asedu checking into the game here for Monroe. Smart play here from Coach Weber to protect him with those 2 fouls. Last minute 45. Hope you get a spark from your bench. Here is Hutton on the drive. Throws it up. And a foul called. And Monroe right back to the table as Asedu picks up his second.
From this angle, I wasn't convinced it was, but the official that made the call was the one who was looking straight at that gap between the 2 players. So I've got to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he got it right.
Yep.
No matter what I thought I saw.
Right. Coach Weber might argue that that was a similarly out-of-control drive to the one Augustin had a few minutes prior, but that's neither here nor there. Hutton good on both. Here's Rowan. Chargers bench getting loud here. Kicks it out. Augustin, corner 3 on the way. In and out. Rebounded by Hoffer. Hits it ahead to Hutton. And the finish on the other end from Campbell. Back up to a 15-point advantage for the Chargers. Rowan cutting. Devereaux in the corner. And he's tripped up there by Hutton. Who picks up his second foul. And so number 8, Jack Way, will be introduced for the first time this evening. Rowan inbounding deep corner. Here's Monroe. Powder up top. Fakes the handoff. Drive, spins in the lane. Can't finish with the right. Put back. Rolls around and through. Couldn't get it the first time, but got it on the tip home. Here's Way. On the drive, this is Campbell. Gives it up. Culberson. 10 on the shot clock. And a foul up top. Foul's going to be charged to Rowan on Hoffer. So Rowan picks up his second now.
Yeah, it was a bit of a time and distance concept on that one. There was enough distance. Rowan saw the player there and didn't make the attempt to try and slide around, step through him.
Yeah.
And that puts the onus on him for the contact.
Mm-hmm. And it must be said, good on Mark Hoffer for standing in there and not moving at all. I know that's something that gets called a lot, is those moving screens. So good on him to stand in there. Get himself 2 free throws. Capitalizes on both of them. And we got a timeout here called by Coach Weber of the Mounties. Under a minute to play. Chargers 40, Mounties 25. Ian, your thoughts?
This one, the second quarter has been much better. Two-way basketball going both directions. Both teams have had good scoring chances. Basically, standout so far I've seen so far in the first half for Chargers have been Del Pasco and Hutton for sure. Hoffer in the last 3 or 4 minutes has basically stepped up on the offensive end considerably. For Mount A, they had Rashawn Ferguson involved really early. Nice working him inside, but the thing is, with the 2 fouls on him now, they had to step back from him, and they've been trying to. Looks like they've been probably the last 3 or 4 minutes. They've been trying to force offensive plays a little too much rather than actually run the offense and get those shots.
Right. And that's really been the story of the first half for the Mounties. 4 of their 5 starters currently in foul trouble with 2 fouls, right? Between Seydu, Rowan, Monroe, and Ferguson. Only Ryan Norris is the only one without foul trouble, and he picked up the unsporting that led to 2 in the ball for the Chargers, right? So discipline for the Mounties on the defensive end, hopefully leading to more opportunities on the offensive end in the second half.
Yeah,
Still got 39 seconds to play here, though, so an opportunity to go 2 for 1 if they go quickly. Here's Rowan up top. Gives to Monroe in the high post. Devereaux, open look. 3's no good. Augustin gets the offensive rebound. Can't finish underneath. Rebounded by Hoffer. And Crandall's got to get it over. 17, close to an 8 count. Got it over just in time.
That was
Here's
close.
Culberson. Gives to Campbell. Now Hoffer up top. Half a second difference, shot clock and game clock. Hoffer puts it up from the elbow. No good. Tipped up. And controlled by Devereaux. Throws it up 3/4 court. No good. And so we have reached the halfway mark here in this home opener for the Mount Allison men's basketball team. They are currently trailing the visiting Crandall Chargers, the local rivals, by a score of 40-25. We thank you for joining us here on ACAA TV and YouTube, and we'll be back in 15 minutes for the start of the second half. Welcome back to the McCormick Gymnasium here on the campus of Mount Allison University. Getting ready for the second half of this men's game here between Crandall and Mount Allison. The Chargers currently ahead 40-25 at the break. Top performers for Crandall in the first half, Luca Del Bosco, 12 points in 14 minutes, 5 of 7 from the field, 5 rebounds. And Colby McIntosh, 7 points, 2 rebounds in 14 minutes. For the Mounties, top performers, Rayshawn Ferguson, 7 points, 3 of 6 from the field. And Jonas Monroe, 6 points on 2 of 5 from the field. Story of the first half for the Mounties, though, foul trouble. 4 of their 5 starters currently with 2, as well as Caden Augustin off the bench with 2. And offensive struggles continuing for the Mounties, currently shooting 32% from the field, 10% from 3. Crandall, 46% from the field and 56% from 3. 15-point game, but the Mounties looking to come out with more energy here. A better second quarter, so they're hoping to build on that. Here is Rowan, gives to Monroe. Ferguson, high post. Norris in the corner, now gives to Ferguson, elbow jumper, no good. Rebounded by Hawks. Here comes Culberson back the other way for the Chargers. Gives to Hawks, drives baseline, and couldn't finish with the right hand, but he's undercut and fouled by Asadu. Asadu picks up an early third here to start the third quarter for the Mounties. Team's first. And Hawks back at the free throw line for the Chargers. Hawks good on the first. And good on the second as the Chargers extend their lead to 17. Here comes Rowan back the other way for the Mounties. Goes to Asadu in the corner. Now looking to use a Ferguson screen, goes to Monroe. Ferguson hands back to Monroe. On the drive with the right hand, fouled by Del Bosco. He does not agree with that call whatsoever. He picks up his second foul. And so Jonas Monroe will head to the free throw line here for the Mounties. Good on the first. That puts him now at 7 points for the day and 3 of 5 from the line. And second one rolls out, rebounded by Del Bosco. Here comes Culberson, hits ahead to McIntosh, guarded there by Ferguson. Now McIntosh up top. They get the switch on to Monroe, back cut by Del Bosco, and he's fouled underneath by Ferguson. And so 2 quick fouls here for the Mounties, 1 to Asadu and 1 to Ferguson. And they got to be careful not to put themselves into deeper foul trouble early in this second half.
Yeah, Ferguson looked a little confused with that call, but it's just that he's never really set up defensive position.
Right.
He never got established defensive position at all.
Yeah. And so Norris and Asadu will check out, and Augustin and Powder will check back into the game for the Mounties. Del Bosco, no good on the first free throw there. Second one is up and good. Chargers lead back to 17. Here is Rowan. And Norris back at the table ready to check in for the Mountains. Uses the Ferguson screen. Culberson goes under. Powder in the corner. Stripped. Taken away by Culberson. Hawks hits ahead. Del Bosco, 3 ball on the way. Off front rim. Rebounded by Ferguson. Here is Rowan calling out the horn set here for the Mounties. Goes off the Ferguson screen. They're looking to get Monroe in the post. They give it to him. He's working on Hawks. Tries to spin inside. Goes up with the right hand. Finishes plus the foul. Charged the foul to number 6, Mark Hoffer. But they tried to double in the post there. Ferguson checks out with the 3 fouls. Norris checking back in. Don't know if maybe there was some confusion on the last foul call there, because Norris only had 1 and checked out. But Ferguson had just picked up his 3rd. I don't know if they thought it was 14 instead of 24.
Hard to say for sure, and the coaches might be the only ones that know that.
Maybe.
Might know that answer.
Maybe. So, 14-point game here. Good on the free throws at the other end. Culberson now with the ball for Crandall. Drives on Rowan. Comes to a stop. Del Bosco up top, and a travel. Our traveling woes continue here in the second half. But possession giving back to Mount Allison. Here is Rowan. Looking to use the powder screen. Culberson stays attached. And off the ball, I saw the hand signal for intentional.
Yeah.
And an unsportsmanlike foul
On Hawks.
has been charged to Daniel Hawks. I did not see what happened in real time. It was off the ball. Hawks is going to check out. Monroe's going to get 2 free throws here, and the Mounties are going to get possession back. So a big potential swing here if the Mounties can get both free throws and a score on the possession.
Almost wondering if that might have been a jersey grab on a cutter underneath along the baseline.
Yeah. Monroe good on the first. And second rattles out. But 14 seconds in the half court here for the Mounties to hopefully get another score here and dig into the Crandall lead. Monroe comes off the staggers. They're trying to get it to him. They can't. And a 5 count. I have to say, I thought that was a pretty quick 5 count there.
It was 5, but it was tight 5. And normally for things like that, it's the same thing as 3 in the key. You sort of go, you count your seconds and then take the breath and then go. So you're almost got the extra second on each one. But
Del Bosco,
legit
corner
call.
3. Rebounded by Augustin. Mounties get away with one there. Monroe driving in. Great kick out. Rowan, corner 3. Won't go. Great hustle there by Monroe, flying in to take that rebound away from Del Bosco. A kickball on Crandall, and the Mounties will retain possession. Monroe showing a lot of leadership here with his crashing of the offensive glass. Now he's going to take the 3 ball and knock it down. Jonas Monroe putting the team on his back here in the third quarter. And the Mounties have cut the deficit to 10. Still over 7 to play here in this third quarter. Campbell up top being guarded by Augustin. Stripped him. And a foul on Campbell. Timeout Crandall. The Mounties are looking for the intentional call. They're not going to get it.
No,
charge the foul to Ryan Campbell.
Yeah, definitely was not intent. That's still going for the ball hard, but it's still just a regular foul, and there's no question about that.
Yeah, the strip from Augustin, 50-50 ball on the floor. They're both going for it.
Yep. And McKillop right now is just he wants to just try and get the guys settled, focus back under control again. They're losing a little bit of focus and scrambling far more than they were in the first half.
Yeah.
Which is part of it. Like if Mount A can pull it closer, we're probably going to see a little bit more of that too, which will be to the advantage to the home team.
Yeah. Yeah, and for Crandall, just a couple of undisciplined fouls, right? Like what you don't normally see out of this group, right? McKillop's an experienced coach. These guys are pretty disciplined. And to get that unsporting foul and the other one just here, to already be at 4 this early in the third quarter, not playing into their hands.
No, definitely not.
They start this second half.
Yeah, Chargers want to make sure they can maintain aggressive play, and if they get this early in foul trouble, like 4 fouls this early, is going to put a damper on that a little bit. So they're going to have to be a little more controlled, which is going to give Mountie a little bit more room to move. Because we're just under 3 minutes into this quarter,
Right.
which is really early for 4 fouls.
Yeah. Yeah, so a big possession here for Crandall. A key few possessions coming up, really, to not go into the bonus with over half the quarter left. And here is Rowan. Gives to Powder. Top of the key. Handoff here from Monroe. Monroe trying to drive left. And a blocking foul on Hoffer.
Oh.
Coach McKillop not happy about that call. Monroe's going to get 2. The Mounties are now in bonus with 6:57 left in the third quarter. A huge break there for the Mounties. I have to say, I think it was the right call. I don't feel like Hoffer was set there.
He was to a certain
They're
extent,
very
but
close,
he was
right? It's a bang play, but
Yeah.
I thought
it was
Monroe
close, but he was
deserved
moving
3
laterally into that contact, and that's why he got the block call on it.
And Monroe misses the first there.
Unusual for him.
Yeah, he's had an unusually poor night at the free throw line tonight. Home opener jitters is what we'll chalk it up to. Good on 1 of 2. And the Crandall lead cut to single digits for the first time in quite a while. Mounties clawing their way back into this one. Here is Hutton. Guarded by Rowan. Gives to Hoffer at the top of the key. Fakes the handoff. Looking for Del Bosco on the back cut. Now he's going to post up on Norris. Kicks it out. Del Bosco on the drive. Blocked by Monroe. And a foul given by Del Bosco. And he's teed up.
If he's got the technical, that'll be his 5th. He'll be out of the game. Oh, 13.
And 13,
McIntosh.
Colby McIntosh is going to be the one that picks up the technical. Del Bosco picks up his third foul.
Okay. I thought it was his 4th, but it was only his 3rd, so yeah.
And
Wisely,
Chargers
wisely,
their
McKillop
heads a
pulls
little
him
bit.
off the
Yeah.
court just to get him to calm
Simmer
down. Yeah.
Yep. Rowan good on the first. And good on both. And so now, and we got one more for the technical. We got a 2-possession game, just like that.
Yep.
Chargers 43, Mounties 37. As Hutton drives, ball taken away by Monroe. One man to beat, it's Hoffer. Stripped, and possession's going to stay with Mount A.
Yeah. Warning to the Mount A
I
bench.
think there's a
There was a warning to the Mount A bench. They were getting a little lively.
Yeah.
Part of that, one of the assistant coaches was also up, so I think it might have been a combination of that plus some chatter coming from the players down the bench.
Heightened emotions, big run here from the Mounties to start this second half, and they go over the top into Norris at the high post, and a reach-in foul. Ryan Norris is going to go to the free throw line and charge that foul to number 12, Dave Hutton. He picks up his third.
Norris has had a bit of an off night offensively for him. You could just almost see it when he got that ball high post. He turned. Normally, that's a shot automatically. If there's nobody in face, he'll take it right away. And he actually hesitated and put the ball down the floor.
Yeah.
So.
And the struggles continue for Norris. Misses the first free throw there. In the first half, 1 of 3 from the field, 2 points, but 5 turnovers for Norris. Good on the second free throw there. And it's a 5-point game. And Rowan picks up a foul in the backcourt there. That'll be his third, team's third. Already 8 fouls in less than 4 minutes of play to start this second half. Here's Hutton being guarded by Rowan. McIntosh drives right, still driving right. Now gives underneath to Hoffer. Campbell in the corner, back to Hoffer. 8 on the shot clock. Norris right there. Hoffer spins, kicks out. 3 ball on the way. It's down. Big shot there from Jaden Lucas at the end of the shot clock. Puts Crandall ahead by 8. Monroe comes to a stop. Kicks out. Norris, corner 3. Too strong. Rebounded by Lucas. Great find there by Monroe. Norris just couldn't knock it down. Here is Hutton up top. Gives to McIntosh. And Campbell on the cut. Finishes with the left hand. Monroe got face cut there. And the Chargers back ahead by double digits. Monroe nearly lost it. Now gives to Rowan. They strong side help. Norris in the corner for 3. It's good. Big shot there from Ryan Norris. Cuts the Crandall lead back to 7. Hutton uses the Hoffer screen. McIntosh looking to drive on Powder. Gets all the way to the rim and finishes. Strong drive there from Colby McIntosh, and he gives the 2 small. Norris. Monroe, open 3. Off front iron, breakdown in communication. Chargers got away with one there. Hutton on the drive.
Walkies.
Traveled.
I've been around this game most of my life, which has been a little while, and this is crazy, the number of travels we've seen so far in this game.
Yeah.
And it's not one, it's both teams.
Yeah.
And I know it's
But also
it's
not,
intense ball.
right.
That's and that's going to add some to it, but this is still wow.
Yeah. And again, like, none of the calls, I would argue, were not travels.
Nope.
And Norris hits the high post jumper there. Back to a 5-point game. Mounties ramping up the pressure here. And Hutton on the drive. They kick it out. Campbell knocks down the 3 in front of the Mounties bench. 53-43. Augustin, quick 3. No good. Rebounded on the weak side by Hoffer. And a foul given.
Yeah. On Tector. Simon
On
Tector.
Tector.
Yeah, he just stepped in a little too close on that one as the Charger player was legally turning. Contact was made.
And so Tector picks up his first. 4th team foul, so the next one, Chargers will be in bonus rest of the way. Mounties have already been in bonus for the last couple of minutes here. And another break to get everyone to tuck in their jerseys.
Tuck in your jerseys, boys.
This is what we're worrying about at the college level.
Some days, I hate to say it, but some days it is.
And Hoffer with the ball here for Crandall.
Oh,
Drops
nice.
it off to McIntosh. Missed the layup and rebounded by Augustin. Scramble. Asadu. Ball's on the floor. It's out of bounds. Possession's going to stay with Mount A. Chaos on both sides right now. This out of bounds going to give some structure back to the game. Side out. 18 on the shot clock here for Mount A. Here's Powder. Gives to Augustin. Asadu working against the Crandall zone. Throws it away. Stolen by Jaden Lucas.
Great read to cut into that passing lane and pick off the ball.
McIntosh up top. Hoffer trying to back cut. Trying to post up on Tector. It's stolen away by Tector. Asadu. Gives to Augustin. Augustin drives middle. Drops it off for Powder. It's stripped. And ball will stay on the baseline with the Mounties. Couple of substitutions for Mount Allison. Tector checking out for Monroe. Asadu checking out for Rowan. Rowan now to be the inbound man with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Augustin, open corner three. No good. Rebounded by Lucas. Lucas has had a great second half so far, and they hit it ahead to Hoffer. Monroe nearly got there, but Hoffer laid it in. And the Chargers ahead by 12, 55-43, under 3 to play here in the third quarter. Augustin goes to Powder. They try to go high post to Monroe. He's got it now. Rowan thought about the three, puts it on the deck. Great pass. And Powder can't finish, but Monroe there to finish with the left. Jonas Monroe cuts the lead back to 10. And nearly taken away. Ball's on the floor. Picked up by Lucas. Now Hutton at the top, goes to Campbell. Hutton face cut. And fouled by Rowan.
Forearm in the small of the back when Hutton went up.
Rowan couldn't get in front of the cut there. Was trailing all the way, and now he has picked up his fourth. Still in the third quarter here. Dave Hutton at the line, shooting 2 for Crandall.
Sorry about my little comment there. Just trying to figure out why the buzzer went between the once the free throw shooter had the ball. You don't hit the buzzer.
Hutton good on the second. Chargers 56, Mounties 45. Rowan checks out with those 4 fouls. Rayshawn Ferguson back into the game for the Mounties. Monroe calling for the ball. Augustin still got it. They're going to flare Monroe off. Hoffer knifed at it. Monroe driving. He's fouled. Strong take there by Jonas Monroe. Charged the foul to number 11, Jaden Lucas. He picks up his second. Monroe heading back to the free throw line here. He's had his struggles there tonight. Looking to knock down 2 to make this back into a single-digit deficit. Good on the first. Good on both. 9-point game here, 2 minutes to play in the third quarter. Here's Lucas. They go inside. Now back out to Hutton. Hutton on the drive. Strong take and finishes. Dave Hutton for 2. And the Chargers lead by 11. Augustin up top. Drives left. Strong take. Shot short. Ferguson with the offensive rebound. He goes back up. Rolls around and out. Gets his own rebound. Throws it off the Crandall player. Saves possession for Mount Allison. Heads up play there from Ferguson. Baseline out of bounds. 13 on the clock here for Mount Allison. Monroe puts it on the deck. Driving on Hoffer. Finishes with the scoop. Great take there from Monroe. And we got back to a 9-point game here, 58-49. Hutton thought about the 3. Nearly taken away and now taken away by Powder. Monroe hits it ahead to Norris. Monroe looking to use a Ferguson screen. And tried to give it to Ferguson in the high post. Ball's on the ground. It's a jump. Possession is going to go the way of the Chargers. And substitutions now as Asadu will check in for Augustin. Ethan Culberson back into the game for the Chargers. And Culberson bringing it up here as we go under the minute mark here in the third quarter. Here's Hutton on the handoff. They give here to McKenna. And Hoffer on the drive, no good. Rebounded by Ferguson. And now Norris. Mounties unsure of their pace right now. Monroe on the drive, steps back, hits the two. And a warning on the Crandall bench. They thought it was a push-off on Monroe. The refs did not agree. Monroe buried the jumper, and it's now a 7-point game. 7-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Culberson gives to Hoffer up top. 10 on the shot clock. Back to Culberson. Working on Norris. And a foul. And so Norris will pick up his second. But because of the penalty, Ethan Culberson will go to the line for the Chargers. For the Mounties here, though, assuming he makes both as he's good on the first, 13 seconds, still plenty of time to come down and get a good set here to end the quarter. Mounties do also have all 3 timeouts. And rebounded by Ferguson. Missed second free throw. Asadu throws it ahead to Powder. 5 seconds left. Powder, no good. Ball's batted around. Comes to Norris in the corner for 3. Got it! Ryan Norris knocks down the 3 from the corner. And we've got a 5-point game heading to the 4th.
Yeah, so far up to this point during the game, like up until probably the last 3 or 4 minutes of this quarter, 3 main outside shooters: Rowan, Norris, my brain is shutting, and Rowan. Yeah, Rowan, Norris, and Monroe. There we go. I'm having a night. It's been a long day. Have been relatively quiet, even for the number of shots that have been taken from outside. Norris was, as I said, looked a little unsure of himself. And then as soon as he drained that 3, all of a sudden confidence back in on the shot again. And he's picked it up in the last few minutes, which has been a huge help.
Yeah, and that is a huge shot at the end of the quarter, right? Making this a 2-possession game. Mounties plus 10 in that quarter, right? Yeah. Went into the half down 15, put up 29 points in that quarter as well, right? This is a team that is averaging 65 points a game right now at 54 through 3, put up 29 after a half in which they only put up 25. Really promising stuff being shown by the Mounties there in that third quarter.
Yeah, they're on pace for about 76 or 77 points, which they'll have to stay on that pace and maybe push a little further if they're pushing a little further than that, if they're going to make sure that they want to get ahead of the Chargers. Yeah, as I said, they're fearless shoot. Like, they have no fear when they're shooting.
Well, and just consistency from the Chargers, right? First quarter, 20 points. Second quarter, 20 points. Third quarter, 19, yep. Right? Like, they're probably going to hover around 78, 79, 80.
Yeah, normally they like in preseason and stuff. I mean, even from last year, they're normally not that consistent from quarter to quarter. McKillop has got them leveled out this year considerably, and it looks like it could be as long as they can keep it even pace when they need to, which means they don't have to play catch up ball. They're going to do some interesting things this year.
Yeah, and we've got a ball game.
Oh, do we ever?
We've got a ball game.
Woo.
And if you were with us, I know we didn't have commentary, but if you were with us for the exhibition matchup between these two, kind of a reverse of the script. The Mounties got out to a big lead. Yep. They were missing some bodies, kind of ran out of gas in the fourth quarter. This team's energized and ready to go for these final 10 minutes.
Yeah, and Coach Weber's was platooning and not basically getting bodies in off the bench enough. And between that and the foul trouble that some of the starters got into, they're a little more rested than they might normally have been at this stage, which is a good thing for Mount A.
And we're ready to go here for the fourth quarter. Mounties starting with the ball for the fourth quarter, so arrow will be the way of the Chargers. Asadu goes to Ferguson, top of the key. Trying to get Monroe on the handoff and due. Monroe drives right. Good swipe there from Hoffer. Ball's on the ground. Norris drives baseline. Charge called. And some concern for the Mounties. I believe that's Monroe that's currently down. So Ryan Norris picks up his third on the offensive foul there. Great job by Mark Hoffer to get himself outside the restricted area, meet Norris, stay vertical. Big, big play for the Chargers there. Ball's back in play here. Hoffer has to come back to get it. Pitches it to Hawks. Now Culberson with it. Stagger action. They get Hoffer to come off the second screen. Drops it off for Del Bosco. Blocked by Norris. Great play by Ryan Norris to get back in that play. Mounties stuck 5. Monroe drives left. 3 ball on the way. High in the air. Controlled by Culberson. Culberson pushing the pace. Comes to a stop. Hoffer, 3 ball. Good. Mark Hoffer hits the transition 3. We've got a stoppage. Referee talking to the table right now. Big 3 there from Mark Hoffer. Chargers lead back up to 8. 9:05 to play here in the fourth quarter.
Not sure what that question was all about, but the official was checking with the table to see on something and going from there.
And we're back live. Ferguson up top, guarded by Del Bosco. Gives to Norris. Thought about the 3. Trying to put it on the deck. Hoffer's right there. Goes to Ferguson. Jabs, drives, blocked by Del Bosco. Picks it up and finishes. Here is Hawks at the top, guarded by Monroe. Hawks drives. They get the switch onto Ferguson. Picks up his dribble. Finds McIntosh. 5 on the shot clock. Fade away. Got it. McIntosh buries the fadeaway in front of the Mountie bench. And the Chargers extend the lead to 8. Powder drives baseline. Strong take. And finishes with the right hand. Great take there from Gabe Powder. And the lead back to 6. Monroe pokes it away from Hawks. Side out. 4 seconds for the Chargers to get it over. I don't know if Culberson knows that. And it's an 8 count.
Yep.
Lost the ball out of bounds.
Oh, some words going back and forth between Culberson and Norris right now.
It's getting chippy. This is a rivalry game. Crandall located just 30 minutes away from us, west on the Trans-Canada Highway to Moncton. Here is Asadu. Comes off the Monroe screen. Monroe for 3. Got it! Jonas Monroe for 3. And we've got a 1-possession game. Chargers 64, Mounties 61. Here is Hawks. Gives to Culberson. Trying to go inside and due to Hoffer. Guarded by Norris. He spins baseline. Kicks it out. McIntosh puts it on the deck. Stolen away by Monroe. Tries to hit ahead. Culberson got his hand in it.
Backcourt
Over
violation.
and back. Mountie ball on the over and back.
Yeah, he gained control of the ball and that lead foot came down in the backcourt.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a bang call, but the officials did get that one. They definitely get that one correct.
Right. Yep. Mounties have trailed by as many as 17 in this one. They trail by 3. 7 minutes to play. Ferguson up top. He's got 7 on the shot clock. And a foul off the ball on Culberson. That is only his first.
Yeah, he was attempting to restrict.
Or excuse me, second.
Yeah, it was attempting to restrict Monroe's movement across the top, across the top of the offensive formation right then.
Yeah,
because he knew he was going to go get the ball from Ferguson.
Yeah, and gives the Mounties another 10 seconds as the shot clock resets to 14. Ferguson at the top. Monroe takes the handoff, tries to go inside and does, and Ferguson lays it in with the right hand. The Mounties trail by 1. Here is Hawks. Hoffer at the top. They go to Culberson, uses the Hoffer screen. McIntosh drives right on Powder. He's fouled. Fouls on Powder, and it's on the floor. So Powder will pick up his first foul there. And possession will stay with the Chargers, but no free throws. Possession on the end line, 14 seconds on the shot clock. As Dave Hutton will check back into the game for Culberson. Hoffer in the corner. Puts up the 3 ball. No good. Batted around, controlled by Asadu. Mounties looking for their first lead since early in the first quarter. Asadu on the drive, puts it up. No good. Rebounded by Del Bosco. Here is Hutton. Del Bosco. Hands back to Hutton. 10 on the shot clock here for Crandall. Puts it on the deck. Fade away from the free throw line. Missed it. And the ball's out of bounds. Possession back to the Mounties as McIntosh missed the fade away from the free throw line. 6 minutes to play. 1-point ball game. Crandall 64, Mount Allison 63. Neither team close to foul trouble. Mounties with 2 team fouls, Chargers with 1. Asadu gives to Ferguson. Ferguson drives left. McIntosh reached in and got the ball. And we'll have a jump with possession being the way of the Chargers. So 5:48. Mounties have the arrow currently.
Yeah, we could have a long last couple of minutes. If it stays this tight and there's still 5 timeouts up on the board, they can be used. I'm actually kind of surprised Coach McKillop hasn't called one yet. Just with the way the Mounties been forcing their way back into this game.
I think he's regretting burning one early in the third quarter. Yeah. He doesn't want to be stuck with one when there's 6 minutes left, right?
Good point.
McIntosh up top, gives to Hutton. Hutton looking for Hoffer on the back cut. He found him, and he's fouled by Ferguson. And so Ferguson, with 5.5 to play, picks up his 4th. Got to be careful the rest of the way. And Rowan, with 4 fouls, is going to check back into the game here. So Rowan and Ferguson both on the floor with 4 fouls. Augustin coming to the table. Now he's going to get Ferguson. And we got 2 free throws here for Mark Hoffer. Chargers ahead by 1. Good on the first. And good on the second. 66-63. Hoffer checks out of the game, replaced by Ryan Campbell. Mounties looking to get a good trip here. Still just a 1-possession game. Here is Rowan using the brush from Monroe. They're trying to screen to get Monroe the ball. They go to Powder instead. Powder. Driving left. Working on Del Bosco. Finds a cutting Norris. And knocked out of bounds by Crandall. 7 seconds on the shot clock here. Baseline out of bounds opportunity for the Mounties. 5:09 to play. Goes up top to Powder. Gives to Monroe. 4 on the shot clock. Puts it up. Hits the backboard. They got to get it up. And a shot clock violation there.
Oh. Augustin didn't realize that the clock didn't reset because the ball hit the backboard. Did not catch the rim at all.
Monroe pleading for a foul there. Never got one.
I don't know if there's foul. There's definitely contact on the ball, which threw that shot off. He was bringing it up just before he released it, so that's why it was off as much as it was.
Hutton coming back the other way here. Now Hawks. They give to McIntosh in the corner. Del Bosco, guarded by Powder, drives right, drops it off for Hutton, and he finishes with the reverse. Dave Hutton, the first-year guard, really showing out here tonight for the Chargers. Rowan uses the Monroe screen. Skip pass. Now they go inside to Monroe. Posting up on Hawks. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Lost the ball. Ball's on the floor. Augustin's on the floor. 2 players are on the floor. And possession goes the way of the Chargers.
Yeah, Augustin kind of corralled that ball with his legs.
And we have a timeout called by Coach Weber. Chargers will get the ball back out of this timeout. 5-point game. The Mounties cut it to 5 at the end of 3, have gotten it down as low as 1. Chargers with a couple big baskets to restore that 2-possession lead.
Yeah, for a game that started both teams pretty much almost out of control on both ends of the court. Both teams have snugged up their offensive sets and their defensive play. And basically, this is barn burner right now. This is good aggressive basketball. Love to see this going back and forth. Hopefully, Mountie will be able to pull this back in a little closer again, but we'll have to wait and see. Either way, it's been both teams have been leaving everything on that court. These guys are going to sleep well tonight.
Yeah, especially on a 2-game weekend for both these teams. Crandall had their home opener last night against St. Thomas. The Mounties were on the road at UNB St. John yesterday. Crandall picked up a win in their home opener. The Mounties looking for a win in their home opener tonight for their first win of the season and first win under new leadership with Coach Weber. And they've got 4:21 to do it, trailing by 5, trailed by as many as 17 in the second quarter, early in the third quarter of this one. We're down 15 at half and are now right back in it, a 2-possession game with 4 minutes to play. But first, I got to get a stop on the Chargers. Here is Hutton. Gives to Hawks. Campbell on the drive. Cut off by Augustin. They switch. Now Del Bosco being harassed by Augustin. 3-ball on the way from Hutton. They thought it was a travel. No call. Rebounded by Monroe. Now Norris gives back to Monroe. Rowan. They go high post to Powder. Powder on the drive, fouled there by Del Bosco. Foul was off the ball there on Dave Hutton.
Yeah, he wound up restricting Monroe. Yeah, coming across to pick up that ball again. They know that's what they're going to try and do. That get Monroe to come across to the high post and get the ball back.
Yeah, and good on the officials for recognizing these off-ball fouls. I feel like we see that in a lot of games where a lot of things
they've been
don't get called off the ball, and they've been focusing on it tonight. That's been great. Monroe on the drive. And a blocking foul. Or a hit to the arm on Monroe. Charged the foul to number 5, Ryan Campbell.
Yeah, as opposed to the block, it was when Monroe made that move up to the basket after the contact. That contact, that was a 50-50 call. It was a good no call on the block charge call.
And Monroe good on the first. 68-64. Monroe's had a great second half for the Mounties. A little below his averages in the first half. Just 6 points on 5 shots. But he has turned it on, and he's got it back to a one-possession game here with just over 3.5 minutes to play. Hutton calling out a play for Crandall. They give to McIntosh. Now Hawks. Hawks driving on Powder. Gives to McIntosh, trying to post up Ferguson. Hoffer. Hawks, straightaway three is good. Daniel Hawks for 3. And the Chargers lead by 6. Here is Norris on the drive, working on Campbell, stripped of the ball. Hoffer came away with it, hits ahead to Hawks, lays it in with the left hand. Timeout Mounties. And just like that, a 5-0 run by Daniel Hawks and the Chargers.
Yeah.
Takes a 3-point lead to an 8-point lead.
Yeah. Norris thought he got hit on that. I might almost agree with him, but the thing is, even though either way the official didn't make the call on that, but Norris stayed in the offensive end. Stayed in the offensive end to discuss with the official on the call as opposed to getting back and playing defense.
Yeah.
It's a little frustrating to see. I understand his frustrations, but got to stay in the moment.
Right. And you know, kudos to Crandall for winning those 50-50 balls, right?
Yep.
And that's not been the case the whole night, right? There's been times where, especially early in the first, early in the third, where the Mounties have really brought that energy and have been first on the floor. That has flipped here late in this fourth quarter with Crandall, you know, ahead by 17, got it all the way down to 1. Now they're looking to really close this thing out.
Yeah, I know both. Like, this league has a tendency has a lot of aggressive defensive play, so you tend to see a lot of turnovers in this league compared to some others. But it's just because of how aggressive the defensives tend to play. Tonight has been like the turnovers are off the charts tonight for both sides.
Yeah.
I know they're both coaches are going to be looking at this one and going back and use this one as an example for the rest of the season, going so close, but we have to stay under control. Right. And that's going to be a big, because there's been this has been nuts on turnovers today.
Yeah. Both unforced and forced.
Oh yeah,
right?
definitely, yeah.
Credit to the defenses of both teams, but there's also been a couple that can't be explained by the defense. Here is Monroe at the top, looking to go to Ferguson. They get it to him. Ferguson trying to go inside, high-low to Monroe. He gets it to him. Monroe up short, gets his own rebound, and finishes with the right hand. Back to a 6-point game. Hutton. Hoffer up top. Gives back to Hutton. Now Hawks. Monroe reached in. Hawks driving, trying to finish with the right. Couldn't do it. Rebounded by Ferguson. Now Rowan. Back to Ferguson. Drops it off from Monroe. Spinning. A lot of contact. No call. And rebounded by the Chargers. Here comes Campbell. Gives to Hutton. Finishes and 1.
Coach Weber's a little animated now, but that call being made there, but no call at the other end.
Yeah.
Thing is that it looked really bad down, as much as I hate to say it, it looked really bad down underneath the Chargers basket there. Yeah. But most of that contact was initiated by the offensive players.
Right.
And it's tight, it's close, it's tight, but it's in those situations, if officials leave it as a 50-50 call and just let them play, it looks like everything's getting out of control, but it's probably the better choice.
And it's a big swing there as Hutton good on the free throw. What could have maybe been a 4-point deficit is now back up to 9. Here's Rowan using the Ferguson screen. Kicks out to Norris. 3-ball on the way. No good. Rebounded by Hutton. Hutton's shown a lot of composure here for a first-year point guard. Drive. Kicks out. Hoffer. 3-ball. Got it. Big shot there from Mark Hoffer right in front of the bench and nearly stolen and now taken away by the Chargers. Hutton at the top. Mounties got to get the ball back here. McIntosh, 3-ball, too strong. Rebounded by Del Bosco, fighting for it. The shot clock went off. It shouldn't have. It should have reset. And I think the Chargers are going to get it back with 14 on the clock here.
They're going to give
him 10.
Yeah.
Shot clock should have reset to 14 on the offensive rebound. Never did. Refs say that 4 seconds of play was had before
3 or 4 for sure. So yeah, it might not be perfect, but they came up with a good compromise on it.
And now a baseline out of bounds for the Chargers. 10 on the shot clock. And they go inside to McIntosh, missed the layup. Monroe got the rebound. He's pushing in transition behind the back and fouled by Hawks. Great early push there from Jonas Monroe. Wins himself another trip to the free throw line. Really done a great job of getting himself there tonight. And so in all the chaos of the last minute or so of game time, the Chargers have now opened the lead up back to 12. Monroe at the line looking to cut it to 10. Good on the first. And missed the second. Ball's batted around, controlled by McIntosh. And a foul given. It's now bonus for the Chargers.
That one's on Monroe.
And Monroe picks up his third. And so free throws the rest of the way for Crandall. 1:06 left to play.
Yeah, 14 fouls on the Chargers means both teams will be shooting penalty for the next minute, last minute of the game.
But first, Colby McIntosh gets his 2. Short on the first. And good on the second. 80-68, 1:06 to play. Mounties got to push the pace here. Monroe drives, stripped to the ball, lost it, controlled by Del Bosco. Actually, we got a jump ball, which works in the Mounties' favor. It'll stay with Mount Allison.
This is looking like we got a
And I
timeout
think
called
we
somewhere.
got a timeout called by the Mounties. And yes, we do. And so 58.6 left in this one. Mounties down by 12. Coach Weber wants to talk it over with his team before they get this side out of bounds opportunity off of the jump ball there. And if you're the Mounties, quick baskets and pressure is what you need right now.
If even despite the number of fouls bodies have on the floor, that's what Monroe was doing. Okay, Chargers get the ball, stop the clock.
Yeah. You've got to drag this out as much as you can within reason. Certainly not over yet. Stranger things have happened in 58.6 seconds. Mounties got to execute here, hopefully get a steal. And if you can't get a steal, a quick foul. That's the missed free throws.
Yeah, and at this stage, Coach Weber's used his third timeout, so they don't even have a timeout to move the ball up the court, up to the front court if they need to.
So here we go. Baseline out of bounds, 17 on the clock. And we're going to go sideline out of bounds instead. 17 on the shot clock, 58.6 on the game clock. Rowan to inbound. They look for Norris off the stagger action. Now run Monroe off it. Monroe driving, and he's fouled. Great take there from Jonas Monroe. Charged the foul to number 15, Luca Del Bosco. He picks up his 4th. And so Monroe, I don't know how many times I've said this tonight, but back to the free throw line. Made a living at the line tonight. Good on the first.
I would expect to see a quick foul here.
Yeah, expect to see.
Miss or make, I expect to see a quick foul by the Mounties.
Good on both. Full court pressure here coming from the Mounties. They try to get it into Hutton and do. Hutton, good job to take a few seconds at least off of that clock for Crandall. And so Mark Hoffer will head to the free throw line for the Chargers. Looking to extend the Crandall lead here. Currently ahead by 10. Now 11. It must be said, 52.9, not a high chance of
There we
a
go.
comeback here for the Mounties, but a much better performance, I think, all around. Their best quarter rebounded there by Ferguson. Monroe bringing it back down the other way. Drops it off to Powder. He lays it in. 81-72. They go to Hawks. Quick foul given there by Powder. His 3rd. But as I was saying, a pretty good all-around performance tonight from the Mounties, especially in that 3rd quarter, right? A slow start offensively, only 10 points in the first. Exploded for 29 in the 3rd. They're getting there.
Yeah.
Right?
As opposed to their offensive and defensive collapse yesterday afternoon
Right.
in that 3rd quarter, which it's good to see them coming out in the second half and getting things going. And that's a little bit of a surprise miss from Hawks, who's usually extremely solid from the foul line.
And good on the second to bring it back to double digits. Mounties got to go quickly here with Rowan. Pitch it ahead to Ferguson. Ferguson attacks on Del Bosco, drives right, Euro step in the lane. Great move there from Ferguson. Leads back down to 8. They get it into Hoffer. Mounties, I thought were trying to give the foul there. And Rowan eventually does. It'll be the last one that he gives for the night, as he is going to pick up his 5th.
Hutton sort of went jogging out into the equipment room off the end of the room. There was a secondary contact on that one just after the foul call from Ferguson that might sort of just caught him in a spot that wasn't too comfortable.
And the Mounties football faithful chanting for the bench warmers. Dave Hutton at the free throw line.
Not sure what we're waiting for at the moment.
Because of the because it's Rowan's 5th foul, the Mounties get a 30-second 30-second timeout to determine who their substitution will be. And they have selected Kwame Asadu. Although a good way for Coach Weber to get an extra timeout there. With 32 and a half is Hutton good on the first. And misses the second. Mounties trying to go quick. Here's Asadu. Gives to Norris. Puts it up. Shots off front rim. Rebounded by Powder. His mid-range jumper banked in. Crandall leads down to 7. Here's Hawks. Got to get a steal here now, and they give the foul. Ryan Norris gives his 4th. And Daniel Hawks back to the free throw line here. 1 for 2 on his last trip. Good on the first. And misses the second. A surprising 2 misses here late in the fourth quarter for Hawks.
Yeah.
Monroe nearly lost it. Asadou's got to put it up. 3 ball on the way. No good. Batted around. Controlled by Norris. And they're going to say it was last touched by Ryan Norris. He was out of bounds when he tried to throw it off the Crandall player. And we've got a timeout here by Crandall.
They
8 seconds
They
left.
call the timeout, I believe, even though it's an out of bounds play. Are they allowed to move the ball up to the front court on this one, or is that just after a basket?
No, I believe they're able to advance off this.
That would have been the main, and then just basically tell the boys, don't need a shot,
Right.
Control the ball.
Right.
If we get the ball in our hands, they're not scoring anything.
Yep. Yeah, I was a little confused by the timeout just because I thought we're in dribble the clock out territory now, but still, I understand why you would want to do it. Advance the ball, draw something up that allows you to get the ball in safely.
Get another 60 to 65 feet away from
Right.
your own basket.
Right. Both teams coming out of the huddle now. 8 seconds to play. Chargers do advance. They'll take this inbound in front of the Mountie bench.
Yeah. At this stage, you're probably all right. This probably will be just inbound and control the ball.
Yep.
Just inbound and move it till the buzzer goes.
Pretty good defense here for the Mounties. They do get it into Hoffer. And the foul is given with a jump ball. The Mounties are going to get the ball back here with 5.6 on the jump ball. So
I'm a
good
little
work by
confused on that
Mountie
one
to tie
because
him
that reach around the player. To get contact on the ball, you pretty much have to have contact on the player first. So
Monroe for 3, no good. Rebounded on the weak side by Del Bosco, who throws it the length of the court at the end of the game and has some words for the home Mounties. But we've reached the end of this one. The Crandall Chargers improved to 2-1 on the season. 2 big wins for them this weekend. One in their home opener last night against St. Thomas, and now tonight here on the road against their local rival, Mount Allison. The Mounties fall to 0-3 to start the year. The Mounties are next in action here at the McCormick Gymnasium on Saturday, November 9th, as they play host to the King's College Blue Devils. And the Crandall Chargers will be back in action also against the UKC Blue Devils on Sunday, November 10th on the road in Halifax. Tip-off for the Mount A UKC game on Saturday, 4 p.m. Tip-off for Crandall and UKC in Halifax on Sunday, 3 p.m. On behalf of Ian Allen and the rest of our crew here today, my name is Tyler Vincent. Thank you very much for joining us on ACAA TV and YouTube, and we hope to see you here Saturday afternoon for the Mounties' next home game. Have a good night.